What's the word, baby? What's the word? You know what time it is, man. PFF, they've officially dropped the rankings or their grades from last week's matchup versus the Washington Commanders. So, of course, wanted to try something different a little bit. I said, let's spend a little time with PFF. Let's actually, see what they had to say about us on a grading scale offensively and defensively. So, what we're gonna do it is like this, man. I'm gonna go ahead and look at the starters and mainly the starters, and just kind of see how they have them rated from an offensive and defensive perspective, man. And we'll see if we agree with them or not, man, based on the statistics of this thing. But you already know the drill, man. Don't forget to hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. All right, now I'm gonna start on defense. Why? Because obviously, it's defense, duh. But top ranked defender in the game, according to PFF, of course, that is Alex Highsmith. Okay, so they had Highsmith, man, coming in at 77.8 overall defensive grade. Pretty good, pretty good. Played a total of 51 snaps. We obviously know he got hurt, missed, I think, the last two series of the game, man. But I thought he played dang good, man. Actually, man. So I don't hate that. Let's see what his overall statistics were, just to make sure that they are all accurate and coinciding with what I'm thinking on. Because I remember seeing pressures, multiple pressures. But let's make sure we actually have. Ooh, so oddly enough, no official statistics for him in terms of tackles. Interesting. But definitely provided a ton of pressure, man. Was setting the edge. Did a lot of the positive things. I know when I was watching him out there. So I can see that. Okay. So they graded that as a whole. All right. Okay. TJ Watt. Now I already know TJ was similar stat line as the homie, but at the same time, TJ was still producing. We saw some of that pressure come up at the end of the game, man. So we definitely liked that. Should have had a safety call on as well. But I digress. They had him as the second highest ranked defender on the Steelers defense, man, at 76.2 overall. Whew, all right, that's pretty high. It's pretty high. Now I'm curious. I got it because, we have some stats. Some dudes out there putting up some numbers. So let's see. All right, continue with the starters. Keanu Benton. We obviously know he started at the nose position, played 55 snaps, and TJ was 56 snaps, by the way. Had Keanu at 71.6. All right, okay, fair enough. Queen, shout out to Patrick Queen, man. Had him at 64 overall ranked with 64 total snaps in the game. And I think that's a little low to me personally. Felt a little low. Thought PQ had a game. That he was balling. Thought he was on the sideline. Thought he was making big time plays. What do you have? 7 total tackles, 6 solos, 2 for loss. I don't know. A couple PBUs in there. To me, I could see that just being a little bit higher based on production. But I digress. We're just giving them some time today, ladies and gents. We're giving them some time. All right. Let's see. Next starter on the list, Minka Fitzpatrick. Shout out to Minka. Played 64 snaps on defense. Love to see that. And he had a 61.3 overall ranking. Now, this is the head scratcher from my eyes. This next one right here, Deshaun Elliott, played 45 total snaps. Had a grade of 60.5. I don't know. I just thought Deshaun was having a game. I thought Deshaun was balling out. He was second on the team in tackles with 6 total tackles. Had a TFL as well. I don't know. I just thought that they might have been playing pretty daggone good. Could be off. Maybe it's just me. But yeah, don't really agree with his overall ranking right there. But we'll continue on. So after Deshaun Elliott, the next starter was where we at Landon Roberts. All right, played 43 snaps. They had him at 59.1. I don't agree with that at all, especially when I see him getting downhill and when I think of the Commanders' rushing attack or the lack thereof. How can my man not have a higher grade? Make sense? That's all I'm saying. But hey, it could just be me. Okay, Beanie Bishop. Shout out to Beanie. Shout out to the young fella. 33 total snaps. 57.2 grade. I don't hate it. At times, man, we know if anything is caught in the vicinity of a young player or if it looks like it could have been on him, they don't get the benefit of the doubt. So I don't hate it, but I could definitely understand, unfortunately, where they're coming from with that one. Dante Jackson. Ooh, they got him all the way down here at the bottom, man. 45 total snaps. Had him at a 41.2 grade. Disgusting, man, if we're thinking about it, because I don't feel like his play was at a 41.2. I think we would have known it was 41.2. Now, granted, they did have some success, and I did anticipate our secondary not having the best of grades, but that's kind of bad. And then 19th out of all 20 Pittsburgh Steelers defenders, but the lowest ranked starter, according to PFF, was Joey Porter Jr. He obviously had 63 total snaps. They had a grade of 33.4 overall. So definitely not what we're looking for. And in fact, man, from a coverage standpoint, they had him ranked at 31.9 overall for his grade, and Dante Jackson at 38.3 overall for their coverage grades. Yeah, definitely don't agree with that. Now, did they have some plays given up? Yes. Were there a couple of penalties on JPJ? Sure. But as a whole, I don't agree with that. That just, it didn't feel like that to me. I could be off, though. Let me see. Because, like I said, Jaden Daniels ended with 202 passing yards. It's not like he had 350. It wasn't no 400. It wasn't no 5. We seen 500 passing yard games before. It wasn't none of that. It was 200 passing yards. Like, I don't know. Shout out to Terry McLaurin, though, all right? Shout out to Terry McLaurin. But, yeah, I don't agree with it, man. I don't agree with it all the way. But some of them I can understand. Now, let's take it to the offensive side, man. Maybe those grades would be a little bit more promising, so to speak, all right? So, let's see. Highest ranked starter on offense, George Pickens. Shout out to GP. Had an overall of 80.5. Love to see that. Now, see, that's a high grade. That's the type of grade I want to see. Why can't my defenders get those type of grades when they ball out, when they give me statistics, right? But shout out to that, man. He played in 63 total snaps. Definitely was balling out, man. The second highest rated player on the Steelers offense, man, was Russell Wilson. Played in all 78 snaps. Obviously, had a total overall grade of 79.9. Beautiful, man. I actually do love the fact that my quarterback and my wide receiver one are my highest ranked players on offense, man. Big time production right there by both of those guys, man. And we needed them down the stretch, man. We definitely needed both of them, man. All right, next highest rated starter. Shout out to the one and only Broderick Jones. Yeah, 77 snaps. Obviously, we know he sat out one play, man, when he got banged up. But overall grade of 74. Dude, that's dope right there, man. Definitely like what we saw with him. All right, next up, the homie Darnell Washington. Yeah, Mount Washington. Playing in 50 total snaps, man. Had a 73.8 grade. PFF looking like they showing our offense love, man. I ain't even gonna hold you. They definitely showing our offense love in the building. Dan Moore, the next highest rated starter, and he played in all 78 snaps, had a total overall grade of 69.8. Next up after that, Isaac Seumalo. Shout out to Seumalo, man. 76 total snaps, 61.3 was his grade. Okay, so, dude, just think about what we just said right there, man. Broderick Jones, Dan Moore were our highest rated offensive lineman this week, man. I like that, man. Broderick's always been a guy that, has come under fire at times, man, for more so just not playing up to what we think he's capable of playing up to. But for him to, be the highest rated offensive lineman in the game, man, for us, that's impressive right there. And then Dan Moore, obviously, man, we just talk about a guy just having to scratch, claw, get better each and every day, each and every season. And now here he is, man, continuing to, play consistent for us, man. Definitely like that. All right. Now, after Seumalo, we got Najee Harris, played in 37 snaps. Man, that ain't a lot of snaps. I thought he would have played more than that. But he had a overall rating of 60.9. Okay. All right. Now, I know Jalen didn't start, but let me just go look at Jalen Warren, 35 total snaps. So they split them pretty much even. Yeah, I like that. All right. And Jalen had a 57.3 rating. Cordell Patterson only had 8 snaps on offense. So, they had him in a 70.6 grade, but like I said, 8 snaps compared to the 30 plus. I'll leave him out of it. All right. Next highest rated starter was the center, Zach Frazier. Shout out to Zach, man. First game back. It was impressive. I liked it. Played in all 78 snaps, or played, yeah, all 78 snaps and had a 55.2 rating. I don't agree with that all the way either. I felt like if his grade would have been 55, I felt like we would have felt that. Would have felt more interior pressure, man. But maybe they were more so, because it can be focused on the run game, because we still ended up with over 100 yards on the ground as a collective between Jalen Warren, Najee Harris. So, yeah, definitely don't agree with that one. Okay. All right, let's see. Then from there, man, Van Jefferson. Shout out to Van Jefferson. Obviously, we know he was a guest on the podcast this week. If you haven't had a chance to check that interview out, definitely do. Dope conversation with him, man. Shout out to Van Jefferson, all right? But he played in 55 snaps, and his grade was 50.7. So, like I said, it's pretty good for the amount of targets. Because I was about to say, he didn't even really have targets at him. Like, I think he had 2, maybe, but no completions. Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, not a lot of action towards him. So, if that's what they're grading it off of, I understand it. But, yeah, we ain't tripping on that one. Definitely not tripping on that one. Calvin Austin, similar boat, man. 35 total snaps, 46.5 grade. We know the wide receivers really this week, man. It wasn't their game, man. Russ tried to hit Van and Calvin a couple times. Connection wasn't really there, man. Obviously, we know George Pickens was the guy that had the most production, and obviously that great reflected that. Mike Williams didn't play enough snaps, but we know what his snaps were in terms of snaps and production. 9 total snaps. One of them was the game-winning touchdown. So, you know how that goes, man. All right. But then after Calvin Austin, the last or lowest ranked offensive player was the right guard, man, Mason McCormick. Shout out to Mason, man. Played at 78 total snap span, 44.5 was his overall grade. I don't like that grade all the way, personally. I thought that, man, I was watching him pull. How many of y'all saw 66 pulling when we ran it in, when we were in short yardage situations, some of those runs that hit with Najee and Jalen Warren? It was like, yo, you saw 66 right there, man. You saw 66 moving people, playing with a little edge on them. I like my offensive lineman to have that nastiness that I want to finish on top. I want all the extras. Mason played with that. Shout out to Mason McCormick, man. All right. But you guys let me know your thoughts, though, man. Let me see. Offensively, yeah. Najee and Jalen both did things positively, but at the same time, for Najee, he didn't cross that 100-yard threshold again. So I can understand they're grading him, or his grade not being as high this week. And with Jalen, as much as he was productive, he had to fumble. And whenever you have a turnover, man, we know that they're going to dock you for that. So the 66, rushing yards and 29 receiving yards that Jalen had, it kind of gets voided out a little bit because of that, man. But interesting from my eyes, man, in terms of how they viewed and how they kind of graded us based off of what we all were kind of feeling in the game as well, man. Like I said, man, for me, Patrick Queen and Deshaun Elliott, I thought were really low from a defensive standpoint. And offensively, man, that's like I said, man, Mason McCormick, definitely. I don't agree with that one all the way, man. That was super duper low for him, man. But you guys let me know your thoughts, man, on the PFF grades for the Steelers versus Commanders Week 10 matchup, man. And let me know what you're expecting to see next week, because y'all think we're going to be balling out, but we need higher grades, all right? Higher. But either way, I appreciate you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out of this thing and subscribe. And until next time, baby, peace.